Hey guys, Max115 here. I know it's been a couple of days since I posted anything in the channel. I've just been busy with work. They changed my work schedule a little bit, so I wasn't able to record anything. And then right now, today's Saturday, well, it's Chinese New Year, so I kind of spend the whole day with my in-laws. And I've just been out the whole day, but I'm finally able to play, and I'm actually in a really good mood right now because I'm doing really well tonight. In fact, I cleared my entire map. But there's a few things that you guys should look at. So first of all, we're at 1,758 victory points, which is pretty great. As far as global, we haven't moved anything yet. We're still at number 12. Nothing special, but still pretty good. Notice that I have 6 offensive statues going on right now. The whole reason of that is because I had the extra 17% gunboat energy and another perfect troop damage guardian sitting in my statue storage forever. And I decided, well, you know, Mega Crab just arrived, so I'll just whip them out there. I'll go full offense and try to play, you know, clear my map and then do Mega Crab. So all the attacks that you're going to be watching tonight, they're all with 6 offensive statues, and as you can expect, man, it's been so easy tonight. I was able to clear every single base on my map, with the exception of, and you can see that I'm at stage 17 on Mega Crab. I just don't want to go too far because I'm using the Mega Crab as a gold resource for myself. So whenever I'm low on gold, I'll do a couple of stages of Mega Crab. So right now I'm not going to push in Mega Crab. I'll just do that later on once I'm done with this actual VP push. The only base that I left in the map is my friend Lamerger, or Lamerga. I'm really not sure how to say his name. But his is the only base. I drew a happy face with him, and you know, we go back a long time, so I'm just going to let him sit there. But he's the only base. Otherwise, I would be at 1,760 victory points, which would have been pretty sweet. But anyways, you know, solidarity is what I say. All right, guys. So, and once I'm done playing tonight, which I'm pretty much done, I will swap these 2 bad boys back to ice statues and then boost everything else. Notice that my ice isn't boosted here, and you know, that's how I kind of maximize the usage of my power powder. All right, guys. So let's get into some of these attacks. So the first base that we're going to be attacking here, I think it's a Vietnamese base. Sounds like Sambang Tat. I'm assuming that's the name. Also, by the way, if you guys notice that I actually played all of these attacks without the music on the game on, and that's because I was listening to actual music through my headphones, and it actually makes it for a better experience, in my opinion. So that's why I'm gonna put some background music for this video, because you know, otherwise it's just no sound at all in this video. So anyways, this first base, 1,327 victory points, double shielded base, 7 ice statues, 3 of them boosted. Not that big of a deal, and as you guys can see, I have such a huge boost going on with 6 offensive statues. So really, I mean, it is actually really fun and much easier to take down the bases, but the satisfaction is not the same as doing it with only 4 offensive statues. But who cares, you know, as long as you can take down the bases, it's fine. And it's also, you know, it makes for a good video, I suppose, so you guys can see the difference between, you know, attacking with 4 offensive statues and using 6 offensive statues. I think it works well for me, at least. In many of these cases, what usually happens with Rawdikinem is I can just overpower the base without a lot of strategy because I have so much troop damage going on. I have 3 troop damage statues overall. Look, the shield generator went down like it was nothing. And the HQ itself has a couple of Zukas shooting at it, and the whole thing is just raining down. And, you know, I didn't really have to reflare or anything, just threw some smokes because I knew I was going to beat him. Oh, I'm sorry, this base has 4 ice statues boosted. Notice a little troop health in the top there was also glowing. And I got 2 ice crystals out of this, one with and 1 ice charm, which was amazing. I mean, how lucky is that, considering I don't have any TGRM. Any PSC. I just saw the letter saying TGRM and I said TGRM. So this base I had designated TGRM because I thought I could do it with Grenadiers. Obviously it didn't work out, so I was like, screw it, I'm just going to use RZCM. Which, by the way, this video is going to be all rifles and Zukas. So, you know, just so you guys can expect it. I think there's going to be 1 heavy Zuka attack at the end, but the majority is going to be rifles and Zukas. So I used gunboat energy and to take down one of the rocket launchers, and I noticed that it didn't go down. Notice that it still had a little sliver of health up in there, and I will eventually take it down with 1 artillery shell. I pre-smoked the beach because, you know, there was a mortar and a flamethrower, and I just didn't want my troops to get killed on the landing. So I just pre-smoked them, smoked them behind the 2 rocket launchers, threw some critters, and there goes a couple of smokes And then once I notice the rocket launcher on the left side, that's when I throw the extra artillery shell. You'll see it in a second. More critters on the center just to distract them. There goes down the rocket launcher on the left. And once my troops clear all the big defenses on the bottom there, the one shot launcher, the two rocket launchers, and the shock blaster, then we can start smoking backwards. You'll see that in a second, maybe. Just threw some more critters. Actually, my first intention was to take down, overpower the base, like I said before. That was my first intention, but I noticed that my Zookas were starting to drop really fast, and that HQ still had a lot of health in there, so I just had to improvise this entire move, you know, smoking backwards. It wasn't intended at first, and I kind of just decided to do it midway through the raid because, you know, I knew that with the amount of Zookas that I had left, I couldn't wear down the shield, especially not with the two shot launchers, you know, constantly shooting at me. So I smoked backwards, took down the shield generator. Also noticed that there were a couple of little statues glowing behind the trees there. So this base had, I think, 6 ice statues, and at least 4 of them were boosted. I don't remember where the last one is. Maybe 5 of them were boosted. I really don't remember. Anyhow, once we got to this point, I didn't have enough gunboat energy. It was short 2, if you can see that, from a shock bomb. So all I could do was throw the med kit, you know, try to protect my rifles from those 2 shot launchers. I did have a pretty good amount of riflemen left, though. That really helped out. And then just let the Zookas do all the damage on the HQ. And it just worked out, you know. Again, because I had so much troop damage going on. Base went down in, I think, like 1 or 2 tries. I mean, when you have 6 ice statues, I don't think anything can stop you, really. I can only imagine having 8 or 10 offensive. Everything would be so easy. So the next base is this fella. I know this base because I've taken him down several times. 5 ice statues. This time he only had 3 of them boosted. It usually has 4 or 5 boosted, I think. But anyways, we took down the 2 rocket launchers with 1 barrage, 3 artilleries, and then 2 barrage and 2 artilleries on the second one. Oh no, 3 artilleries also. Yeah, 1 barrage and 3 artillery each. Yeah. We went with a 3-3-1-1 ratio. There were some mines behind the sniper tower, so I took him down again. That's the wonderful thing about having 2 gunboat energy statues. Now I can really see why some people really like to have 3, 4, sometimes 5 GBE statues, because, you know, you can just do so much more when you have the GBE to do it. When you only have 1, it's like you're so limited. You can only take down 1 or 2 buildings tops, and then you have to figure the rest out on yourself, by yourself. So more critters to clear some of those mines. A smoke to protect the guys from that flamethrower in the bottom there, and then I just shocked the mortar flamethrower in the top. More critters on the center. That was mainly for the benefit of the shot launcher to distract them, even though it still targeted my guys and it still shot at my guys. Some more critters. I wasn't too sure how this raid was gonna go. I think it took me maybe 1 or 2 tries also. Especially because there was that 1 rocket launcher in the back and just constantly shooting at my troops, and I wasn't too sure. I mean, my troops had spread out a lot. I threw a med kit, and it was dangerous because I only had 1 boat of medics, and, you know, some of the medics were in the bottom there, so I was just kind of hesitating. But I was waiting for the shot launcher to come down. As soon as it came down, then I flared to the corner there, and at this point I only had 3 riflemen left, and I was like, oh god, there's absolutely no way I can beat this. But you know what, just keep trying. Who knows what may happen. So I just kind of went with it. I still had a lot of gunboat energy, 66, which is pretty good. I really did wish I had a couple more rifles left at this point, because, you know, Zookas alone, they can't withstand the mortar or the rocket launcher. But anyways, I just went with it, mainly because there weren't a lot of mines left in our path, which helps, and there weren't a lot of flamethrowers either, so I kind of thought maybe we can do it, and I had enough gunboat energy to shock the mortar and shot launcher towards the end there, so I was thinking, oh, maybe we can get enough time. Plus I had a huge amount of Zookas. I didn't have any rifles left, but I had a lot of Zookas. I only lost a small handful of them. So right there, I threw some critters to distract the troops, the defenses a little bit, and then right there I was able to shock the mortar and the shot launcher with 1 shock, and that's all I needed, because the rest of them were just boom cannons and machine guns, which I'm not too concerned with. And then right there I was able to shock the last mortar along with the shot launcher, and the Zookas are just blasting at the HQ, you know. Also, it's worth keeping in mind that, you know, the defenses, they go down so much faster because I have that additional troop damage. So, you know, it just worked out well. I didn't expect it, but it really did. And then Fala Fan, it's one of you viewers actually. So Fala, if you're watching, sorry bro, but he was a sneaky one. He has 7 ice statues and only 2 of them boosted. I tried attacking him at first, and then I wasn't able to do it. And then the next time I went to attack him, he had 4 of them boosted. So he boosted just to try to deter the attack. Fortunately, this time I had a lot of boost going on, so I was able to do it. So we just took down one of the rocket launchers, and then pre-smoked the beach again, because I had to leave the one rocket launcher in the front there. So I didn't want it to be killing my Zukas, right off the landing craft. So I just pre-smoked, we had a lot of gunboat energy anyway. And then just smoke right behind the 3rd rocket launcher. Reverse smokes at the end, obviously, you guys know why. And then the plan was similar to the first base. Try to take down the shock blaster, shot launcher, all the deadly stuff in the back there. And then we'll move to the back and take down the shield generator. So there goes a couple of shocks. And critters first, obviously. So the critters did pretty well on distracting the shot launcher. And then you guys can see the Zugas are just cleaning up everything in the back there so quickly. There goes the shot launcher, and right after that, that's when we decided to flare all the way to the back. I don't know, I honestly, and even watching it right now, I still don't know how the heck I lost all 5 of my medics. What the heck was it that got them all killed? I really don't know. And that really sucked because it forced me to throw the med kit since I didn't have anything healing my troops. And you guys know, rifles and Zukas, they have no health, and without medics, they'll just die in an instant. So right there, we took out the machine gun, a couple of buildings in the corner. The good thing is that we had all of our troops. I mean, more than 20 rifles in each boat, and 12. And we only lost 2 Zukas at this point, which is an insane amount of Zukas left, which is great. But without medics, it was a real worry. Plus, he had 7 ice statues, 4 boosted, so it's not like he had light boost going on anyway. I wanted to get rid of that one mortar first, because having the mortar shooting at us from the back would have been, quite problematic. And once the mortar went down, then we flare out. And the problem is that I didn't have a lot of GBE left at this point, because I used the medkit and I used smokes and all that crap. So you guys can see there's a lot of red going on. This was my Hail Mary pass, went straight to the HQ. I was just relying on the sheer amount of numbers. But I threw the medkit, that was the last GBE ability I had. And I was just relying on my numbers and the power of the Zukas to take him down. So, the only thing that didn't change out of my troops was the troop health, because I didn't put an additional troop health. So, it's not like they had a lot of health to survive. But anyways, I was just glad this base went down. This base was actually pretty tricky. But anyways, good attack as usual. And then the next base, this base had, 6 ice statues, I think. Only 3 of them boosted. Yeah, just 3. This is the base that we use heavy Zuka on. Take down the machine gun on the top there with 1 barrage, 2 artilleries, and notice I still have 99 GBE to go with. Usually at this point I'd only have like 80. So man, I love having the GBE. I might get a little spoiled by it, but anyways. So take down 1 building in the front, and then we can start smoking next to the rocket launcher, between the rocket launcher and the armory there. Notice how spaced out the smokes are, because I was trying to conserve GBE. 1 less smoke towards the end, and you guys have probably seen this attack many times by now. So, got a little sloppy there. I lost a whole bunch of Zukas. Actually, I lost too many Zukas. If I didn't have that extra troop damage, I don't think I could have beaten this base in this try. But anyways, so there goes the Zukas. Do 1 shot, shield generator goes down, 2 smokes and a flare very quickly at the end there. Kind of let them regroup. And as soon as that smoke's about to wear out, we throw a flare, some critters. Oh no, sorry, 3 shocks. Yeah, so 3 shocks, and yeah, a medkit on those Zukas because they were really low in health. And see that they certainly wouldn't have been able to take down the HQ if I didn't have that extra troop damage. I mean, the shock on the rocket launcher behind the Zukas had already been worn down. So a couple more seconds, I don't think I could have done it. But anyways, it still went down. Alright guys, so that'll be it for now, because I don't want this video to be too long. There's a couple of TRM videos, attacks that I'll put on the next video following this one, so hopefully you guys like them. I know, I apologize again for not posting for a few days, because there was so much going on, like tennis, Chinese New Year's, family and work stuff, so By the way, if any of you guys watched the Australian Open, find out how amazing was that match. It was incredible. And if you missed it, just go on YouTube and watch, look for the highlights between Federer and Nadal. Federer totally deserved that 18 Grand Slam. I mean, he played unbelievable. So yeah, I'm just super glad. This was one of the best weekends in a long time. So anyways, I'll see you guys next time. Okay, guys. Till then, keep on playing. Bye.